So with a long format video, the longer it is, the more ads they can run during it. And so my opinion as a long format content creator is that you want your video to be over 8 minutes.
Okay.
Because if your video is over 8 minutes, you can have a mid-roll ad. And so that's going to double your income that you can make on that video, because they're going to run one before it, and then they'll be able to run one in the middle of the video. And it's just going to help you make more money that way. And so I think maybe YouTube, I have anything to back this up, but I think they might favor videos that are a little bit longer because they can put more ads in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our podcast should be doing real well.
It should be. Again, keep staying tuned, because we're going to dive into the logistics of starting a brand new channel, which is kind of fun about the podcast because it's helping us see what the climate's like and how hard it is to get monetized. So I got monetized fairly quickly on YouTube before I ever went full time on YouTube. Yeah. So it made it easier for me to go full time, because I knew if I put a video up and it got views, I could make money off of it. So if you're starting from scratch and you're not in that YouTube partner program yet, I can see how it would be hard to like put that long format video up, but you have to do it to get to the point to get monetized and to get to the point where you can have that passive income like you were talking about.
Right. And so for somebody out there who is having success with short form on TikTok and Instagram, and they're thinking about dipping their toes into YouTube, what would be your recommendation for them for how they should alter the way they're doing things? I mean, because if somebody's only filming in vertical, just doing short form, how do they make that shift?
Mm-hmm. It's a shift, and it's going to be hard. And this is what I tell people in my class, because the majority of the people that take my class at Haven are short form content creators, right, but they're doing these beautiful projects, you guys. Some of these people basically like panel their whole home and like put their own cabinets in, and like they just do amazing work. And I say, it hurts my soul that you only have vertical footage of this. And I'm like, if you are in a pinch and you do not have a lot of money to, buy a camera, like just switch your phone back and forth. You have it on a tripod, just switch it back and forth and take content of both. When you're done with the project, separate horizontal over here, separate vertical over here. And even if you don't touch that horizontal, at least you have it. And a year later, you can still make a video on it. People aren't going to know you did that project a year ago. Or even if they do, who cares? You have more, like, at least film it horizontal. But I told everybody, like, save yourself the headache. What I do is I film both ways. I film all my vertical content with my phone, because my phone has a great camera. It has 4K. And I just invested and bought a camera. You can buy a great camera for about $500 or $700. That's going to work great for YouTube. And just put that investment in, because it's going to save you a lot of headache of just filming at the same time. And if anything, if you don't even think, I can't start a YouTube channel right now, I don't have the time. If you are doing projects, if you are making content, just invest in saving that horizontal footage, so that if you do choose to use it one day, or if you get to a point where you can hire an editor one day, at least you have the footage.
Yeah.
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 And that's what I was telling so many, because there's so many brilliant creators out there that are just not doing that, capturing that horizontal, and it hurts my heart, because they have some beautiful projects that people should be seeing, that people could learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard for me to, I guess I've just watched you for so many years that I'm a little biased to wrap my head around somebody doing such an involved project and then only getting a 60-second reel or TikTok or two out of it.
But I understand it, because the way that things have gone, like when I started making YouTube, it was like, if you were making video, that's where you were. They didn't even have stories on Instagram at that point, which is like, it just blows my mind.
And it's really not that long ago.
So, and I just, I take photos of my stuff. I tried my hardest to learn photography, but I've always just been better at capturing things in video. I grew up in drama, so I'm just about the delivery. I was in public relations. So for me, it was a lot easier just to do the video and show you the real aspects. And this is me getting my hands dirty. And I wasn't so great at the picture perfect, like have this beautiful feed. So my Instagram never took off until video started taking over. Right. And so I had this beautiful position where like I had been doing video for so long, and I could transfer it into this vertical format. But don't get me wrong, it took me a long time because I was like, I'm not going to do both. Like, that's so much work. Oh my gosh, I am not going to do that. I'm just going to stay over here on YouTube. And I'm glad that something inside of me was like, no, like you can't ignore this. It's not going away. And now it's like prevalent on 4 different platforms. So I just had to learn like, okay, this is where I have to like not be stubborn. I have to get my head out of the sand. I got to try something new and I got to start. And it was rough goings. Let me just tell you, my first shorts or reels or whatever you want to call them, they are hideous. Like, I dare you to go to my TikTok and look at some of my first TikToks. It looks like grandma tried to like, the transitions is terrible. It's terrible. But like, I learned a little bit every time I did it. And if I wouldn't have transitioned and done all that video content, I wouldn't have been able to be successful on those other platforms. So I get it when someone is a short form content creator and they're like, how do I transition to this long format? It's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be different. It's going to be a different set of skills. But again, like, it just hurts my heart that they're not capturing that content. And there's a whole nother audience on YouTube that they could be. And honest, they could be teaching people how to do the same thing, which is like, you know, the whole thing that we're doing here is like, your knowledge is so important and your encouragement is so important, and people can get that and actually learn how to do things by watching long form content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I can imagine though, it is a hard switch to make
It
when
is a
you're
hard
already
switch.
having success in one area.
Yeah, but it's an investment because like we have been talking to you, like YouTube has all this money that they're paying out to creators, and that is a huge chunk that you're not getting if you're a short form content creator. We've talked about this before. There's lots of brand partnerships, opportunities for that short content, but with YouTube, I double dip. I'm getting both. I'm able to do brand partnerships, and then I'm constantly making money off of my content.